Here we have a new 2025 Chevy Equinox. This one comes in the Activ trim level, front wheel drive. The color is mosaic black metallic, and then we get maple sugar, Evotex, and suede microfiber interior. For the powertrain, we get a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and that's mated to a continuously variable transmission. As we come around to the front end here, love the styling, LED daytime running lights as you can see. And then down here when the lights are on, LED headlamps and LED fog lights. And I like the Activ because it just gives it kind of a more rugged appearance as opposed to the LT. Even the RS, this just is meant to look tough. Now down here we do get 17-inch aluminum wheels. Love the general grabber tires there. Passive keyless entry on the front. Power door lock controls. We have express down on 3 windows except the driver's side, which has 1 touch up and down. Power mirror controls are there. Those are heated side mirrors, and they do have blind spot monitors. Power lift gate, push button, auto stop, automatic brake hold, electronic parking brake, hood release. There are the pedals there. Get a manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. And then here is the power driver's seat with 2-way power lumbar support. Love the suede microfiber here, how it pairs with that Evotex. Just a great look and a great feel. But I want to give a big shout out to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Equinox today. I'll leave a link below in the description. And if you're looking to get the best price on one of these in your area, click on that second link down below. It takes a minute to fill out that information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on one of these. But $36,925 is the sticker price, 27 miles per gallon average. And let's go ahead and check out this rear seat room. So not bad. I do have longer legs, but room back here is pretty good, I think, for this class. You get 2 USB-C charge ports, rear AC vents, view of the front from back here, and then with the panoramic sunshade, that's what it looks like when the roof isn't back. And then 2 bottle holders right there in the middle. I love this microfiber suede though. Feels nice, looks fantastic. LED reading lights in the back, big plus. They didn't try and be cheap there. You do get manual child locks in the back, so you just turn those on, turn them off that way. Fuel filler there. And as we come around to the back end, we do get full LED tail lamps, which I love. And just a good looking rear end, I think. Parking sensors in the rear integrated pretty nicely. There's the exhaust. Let's go ahead and open the lift gate. And then behind the second row, you can see that the top tethers are integrated in the back of the seats, and just tons of space back here. Lift this up, storage up top there, which is nice. And then you can lift this tray up if you ever need to get to your spare tire. Pretty easy to pop it out, and there it is there. And again, I just love how LED lights are throughout, nice and bright. Now as we come around to the rear passenger side, when the front passenger seat is up far enough, same goes for the driver's side, but you can pull up here, seat will fold flat, and then pretty easy to lock it back into place. Front passenger seat is manual there. And there's a look at the trim there, which I really like. Glove compartment with owner's manuals. And then storage underneath right there. Now as we come back around to the front end, there's that 1.5 turbo 4-cylinder. And now let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. Leather wrap steering wheel here. Looks nice, feels nice. There's the horn there. Over here to the radio, love that we still get the wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto compatibility. Along with that, for audio, we get AM, FM, XM, along with Bluetooth, Google News, Google Podcasts, Alexa, and then a USB drive as well. Now with the Google Maps, you can set up a subscription for that or just use it as is. I just like the view, I like the picture, I like the quality of the actual Google Maps interface. I love seeing the traffic patterns, how easy it is to move it around, find destinations and things of that sort. Now your controls for your lights and whatnot are in the screen. So you hit that controls, you can turn on the fog lights, park assist, you can toggle that. A few other controls, including the traction control, and then there's a shortcut up here when the screen is on to turn the low beams on or off. And then your vehicle status menu here. Love this because it's just really fast. You can see tire pressure, brake pad life, and things of that nature. And then if you want to get into it deeper, you can just click on each kind of sub menu and it'll show you that in nice big font and nice graphics there. Backup cameras there, guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. You get the bird's eye view as well. And on top of that, front camera as well. You get those guidelines too. Volume knob is here, you can adjust that or click there to mute. In the settings, you can go in here. Vehicle settings include teen driver, rear seat reminder, and buckle to drive. And then you can go into the system settings if you want to adjust your language or units of measurement there. Now down here we have the dual zone automatic climate controls. You can use the screen, but this is pretty easy. You can adjust temperature, AC toggle, fan direction, fan speed, and then those 3-stage heated front seats can be adjusted. Get a USB-C, USB-A port there, wireless charging pad, and a nice big knob for your drive modes, even though you only get 2 of them. It's just snow and ice and your normal, but it's nice to have that, nice to have the graphics. Bottle holders there, center console's cubby space with a removable tray, pretty good size, I think. And up here, rear camera mirror, which we can toggle there. Hazards are here. And by the way, the settings for that mirror can be adjusted right in here. But sunroof controls are there, sunglasses holder. And then I'm gonna one-touch slide this just so you can see it, and hit it a second time, and that's how far it goes back. There's a view of the back seat from up here. Vanity mirror there. Now back to the steering wheel. Blinkers are over here. When your low beams are on, you can turn your high beams on that way or flash like that. Intermittent wipers, front and rear. Rear wiper fluids there, front wiper fluids here. And then for the shifter, just put your foot on the brake, pull for neutral, drive, reverse. And then for your low mode, while you're gonna drive, just hit that and you can use the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel for the limiter there. And press P for park. Now when applicable, you can go through your track list or radio station favorites here. And on the right side, volume can be adjusted up or down at all times. We get our standard adaptive cruise. We can turn that on or off, adjust speed, cancel, set the gap adjust for that. And then heated steering wheel toggles here, voice recognition, audio sources, we can toggle those. And then we can mute or get to Bluetooth by pushing up there on the phone. And then we have, I think it's 3 or 4 different gauge cluster menus that we can go through. So 4 there. And one includes that Google Maps view, which is pretty cool. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. And next, let's go ahead and take this 2025 Chevy Equinox Activ out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Equinox Activ, I complain all the time about the 2-liter turbo 4 not being available anymore. And that's a letdown, but I mean, this 1.5 is adequate, like it's pretty much always been. The 2.4 naturally aspirated that was in the older models I like a bit better than the 1.5 turbo, but I do always like having a turbocharger on an engine. And then I do wish that we could have gotten a drive mode here other than snow and ice and normal, maybe a sport mode, something like that, but it's an Equinox, so. But I'm gonna give it a little pull here getting on the interstate. Here we go. So I mean, adequate get up and go. It's not terrible, but it could just be better with a 2-liter. And it would be more fun with maybe an 8-speed, 9-speed, 10-speed automatic, even a 6-speed. Now, I'm just having a little bit of sound coming from the back license plate holder just because it's not screwed in at the bottom, but other than that, sounds in here are pretty good. Ride quality's nice. And the CVT's just kind of, it makes weird noises every so often, but that's just part of having those transmissions. But you're able to get 26 miles per gallon city, 28 highway, so I can't complain. Road noise is minimal as well, even with these tires. And I like the lane keeping system here as well. Kind of just keeps me in the lines even as I'm getting off the interstate. I can just feel it barely nudging me to stay in between the 2 white lines. But pretty easy to drive, pretty easy to handle. Most people in this segment will probably appreciate how this drives. Now for the price point here, this one's almost 37 grand, so it's up there. Me personally, I'd want to go with the Premier or something like that, but the Activ does give you the EvoTex interior, which is nice. You have the more off-road oriented tires, but me personally, I'd want a, you know, whatever a Premier would be, and I'd rather pay 4 or 5 grand as opposed to what you get here. Maybe get cooled seats. This one does have a sunroof, which is nice, but just have a few more features. And again, the 1.5 for me is just, I need something that has a 2-liter, or I'll have to go with the Equinox EV. I think the Equinox EV is a stellar vehicle for the money, especially with how cheap you can get those now. I would pick one of those in like a 2LT or something over this in an active trim. But if you don't like EVs, you want something that's basically 2-row SUV with space, and you want to run on gas, this is a good way to do it. Just the performance isn't as good as it could be with a 2-liter or in the EV. For me, it's not as fun to drive as the EV, but most people, again, in this segment are not necessarily worried about how fun a vehicle is. They're worried about how practical it is. And the Equinox is a very practical SUV. You still have your wireless CarPlay, Android Auto here, wireless charging pad, LED headlamps, tail lights, adaptive cruise. I mean, you can't complain. They're just things that I would do differently. But I want to give one more thank you to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Equinox Activ today. I'll leave a link below in the description. And I will say this does have a lifetime powertrain warranty from them because this is a gas-powered vehicle. You don't get a lifetime powertrain warranty from them with the EVs. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on one of these. But final thoughts, it's decent. It really is. The 1.5 decent, CVT's decent. Like the tasteful updates that we get here, inside and out. And this does feel like a more modern SUV as opposed to the outgoing one. But again, me personally, I love the instant torque you get from EVs. And just driving the Equinox EV compared to this one, I'd rather have that. But there's a bit of a price premium, of course, going electric, and just infrastructure still isn't the best. So this might still be the best option for you if you have to take longer distance trips, or you don't like seeing diminished range on days like today where it's 20 degrees out. But just check one out. If you like them, you'll probably like it. And if you don't like them, you probably won't like it regardless. So with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Chevy Equinox Activ.